So the first person that apologized to me for how I was treated during my childhood was my mom. So she apologized to me when I was like 13. That was the first time I had saw her in like maybe 6 or 7 years. I was, living with my grandmother, my uncle, my paternal grandmother and uncle. And then her baby father wanted me to come live with him because, with the military, you get extra money for more dependents. So that was his whole motive, is having me live with him. Not because he loved me, not because he wanted his daughter. No, it's because he wanted the extra money. So there's that. Mother's side of the family found me. They had actually found me a while ago, and I hadn't known that. They told me this after the fact. They said, because during that time, you could find anybody's name in the phone book, and they knew my last name. So they looked up every person who had that last name and was calling everybody until they got to me. And nobody told me that my family ever called me. They said when they called, they were told, oh, she can't talk on the phone, call her back. I was never given that information. And but nevertheless though, so they had a party for me. It was more like a family reunion, I guess, but to celebrate that, they found me. And so my mother, honestly, I didn't even recognize her. She just came up to me and she grabbed me and was just holding me and wouldn't let me go. I didn't know who she was. I'm not gonna even lie to you. I did not know who she was. I guess because when the last time I saw her, I think I was like 6 or 7, and I know that's strange to say that, how could you not remember how your mom looked? But I really didn't. I just knew this was a pretty lady that was holding me. But anyway, she apologized to me then. And then, before she died in 2018, she apologized again, and like I told her, it was dope. It was super dope. My mom wasn't perfect, but it was super dope growing up with her because she taught me so much. She had my older female cousins take me under their wing, show me the ropes of life because I knew nothing. So yeah, like I told her, I said, you more than made up for my childhood by even teaching me, not even so much a survival, but she taught me what I needed to be able to not get swallowed up in this world. So I was very thankful and grateful for her. So then the next person that apologized to me, and who keeps apologizing actually, is my uncle. So the uncle that took care of me, he was really like a father to me. He really was. He, used to read me bedtime stories every night. Like he would be getting off of work, or he would be getting ready to go to work. And before he went to work every night, he never missed a beat. He would read me a bedtime story, sometime even 2. We would sit there and read them together. He'll make sure I brushed my teeth that night. Like, he was really like a father. We were always together. We were seen everywhere. And the ironic thing about it, him and my mom's birthday are both the same day, and they were born the same year. She was born at night, he was born in the morning. So look at the irony to that. But he apologized to me, that he wasn't there the way that he needed to be. And when I say he wasn't there the way that he needed to be, he was still is a successful black man. You know what I mean? And he was young. He started out very young, being very successful. He bought his first house at 25. It was a huge house, beautiful house, That was supposed to be the house for him and my grandmother. But circumstances happened and my grandmother moved out because of the chick that he was with, yada, yada. That's a whole other story, yada, yada. And like I told him, I said, you know what? Me being the age that I am today and knowing the age that he was, I was like, I'm not going to even hold that against you, because being 25, having a whole house to take care of, you're taking care of your mom, you're taking care of your niece, you're taking care of the woman that you're with. Like, he had a lot on his plate. And so I told him, I said, I'm not going to hold that against you. I was like, you don't have to keep apologizing. And I know it's like, he's always been here. He's always been here. Anything it is that I need. He just sent money for my daughter to get her hair done for prom. Like, anything it is that I need, he's there. And like I told him, I said, you've made up for that. You know what I mean? Like, that was not your fault. The stuff that happened to me was not his fault. Those were the actions of other people. But I get that he felt that he should have been there. However, I gave him grace with that. Like, you know what I mean? He personally didn't do anything. So, yeah. My grandmother, before she died, she called me on my birthday. My birthday is April 2nd. And so the last time I had an actual conversation with her, I believe it was April of my birthday, 2022. And she was pretty much just not even so much as praising me, but just letting me know how proud she is of me, how proud she is of me that I got out of St. Louis, how proud she is of me that I am who I am today, how proud she is. And she didn't apologize, because honestly she really didn't do nothing wrong. She used to irritate me growing up. Those grandmas and stuff, they don't want you listening to rap music, and she's always talk about me doing a bunch of the dances from the 90s. She used to talk about that, but she didn't do anything wrong. For her to take care of a child, this lady, her children were teenagers, you know what I'm saying? And here it is, she got a grandbaby now, but she loved me. I was the daughter she never had. That's what she always called me, because she had all boys. So I was the daughter she never had, and so she really took care of me. And for her to just give me that appreciation before she passed, to just remind me of how far I've come, to just remind me that I'm on the right track and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, that truly warmed my heart. And I truly appreciate her greatly. She ended up passing a couple of months after that. So, what have you. But, my childhood, I'm not going to make excuses. I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, it wasn't that bad. No, it actually was. It was really that bad. But because of where I am in my life, it's like I don't allow it to victimize me. I was once a victim as a child, and now I'm a survivor and overcomer, and I help other people with how to overcome, what it is that they're dealing with and going through, and how to heal, not to just brush it under the rug and say, oh, Jesus will fix it, and then leave it alone. They're not changing their lifestyle, and it starts up here, so it's like, Jesus will fix it, but Jesus is gonna be like, okay, so what's your part? What you getting ready to do? You want me to do everything? It's not gonna happen, especially when it comes to something like that. So you really have to put in the work. So I put in the work to do a lot of healing. I put in the work to ensure that I don't hold unforgiveness in my heart, because if I hold unforgiveness in my heart, that means that the people that hurt me, that betrayed me, that mistreated me, won. And it means that God can't give me what it is that I deserve, because my heart is not in the right space. I'm not in the frequency of getting the abundance, the blessings, because I'm still stuck on things that happened over 30 years ago. So I implore everybody else to heal, and it's not to say these people that ask for forgiveness, that's rare for anybody to admit that they did something wrong, or they mistreated you and made a change. That's the difference. All too often we're told, oh, forgive, but the people don't make a change. These people have been there, they've been there, they've supported me, and I love them greatly for it. So I'm very thankful and grateful that the main people that apologized to me, they didn't have to, but they chose to, and I'm forever grateful for that. So yeah.